What if they what if they attract weird animals? Like personally, I don't want to walk over to a glowing tree and see a glowing squirrel. Like
I don't think there's. I don't know. I mean,
it could move from the tree into the animal. Welcome to Brilliant or Bonkers, the podcast where my dad thinks every weird invention is secretly genius.
and my daughter thinks most of them are just completely bonkers.
Each week, we take one real or imagined invention from the slightly strange to the scientifically unhinged and decide if it's brilliant
or bonkers.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Mark, and this is
Brilliant or Bonkers.
Welcome back to Brilliant or Bonkers. Today we have a big, shiny episode, a glowing one, a genius one. I am talking about light-giving trees. Trees that glow in the dark, and I'm here to say this idea is absolutely, totally, completely brilliant.
Brilliant? Are you serious? Trees that glow at night? That sounds weird. Creepy? Actually, no. It sounds totally, absolutely bonkers.
Look, picture this. You're walking home at night, and the trees around you are all gently glowing like fairy lights. Be magical. It's peaceful. It's beautiful. Who needs street lamps when the trees can light your way?
Or you're walking home alone and suddenly the trees are glowing at you like a giant green ghost. Ah, no thank you. Regular trees are fine.
Look, think about it. Glowing trees, they would save on electricity, they would help animals, and they would turn boring parks into sparkling fairy forests.
Or they could attract 1 trillion moths, scare your grandma, and make every park look like an alien landing zone. Bonkers.
Okay, well, today we're diving into the science behind glowing trees, how they would work, why they would be brilliant, and why Amanda thinks we're all about to be eaten by glowing leaves.
I didn't say eaten, I said haunted.
Haunted glowing leaves.
Yes, you heard me.
All right, buckle up, listeners. Brilliant or Bonkers is about to light up your brain. Let's dive in.
Okay, so before we get into our regular thing, just want to ask this one question. How does it work?
How does it work? Okay, so light-giving trees. Here comes a bit of science, but don't worry, it's kind of fun science. We have a scientist in the house.
Yes.
And she has studied light-giving organisms. We know about this a little bit.
Yeah.
So how do we get a tree to glow? Basically, you teach the tree how to glow by itself. Basically, all living organisms, us included, we have inside of us something called DNA. You might have heard about
DNA.
That. Right. And it basically tells the tree has got DNA, and it tells the tree how to grow branches, how to grow leaves, how to grow roots. Everything the tree does, the DNA basically is the instruction booklets. Now, some animals, like there's some jellyfish, some bacteria, I think some fireflies, they have a part of their DNA recipe that says make glowing stuff. So there are jellyfish that swim around and they actually give light.
Yeah.
And it's called a glow gene. So that gene in their DNA tells them glow. It's very clever. What scientists can do, they can copy genes from one organism and they can put those into another organism. It's a bit like an app on your iPad. You could take an app from one iPad and you can copy it onto another iPad and then you can use it there. So it's a little bit like that. You take a gene from one organism, you put it onto another one. It's like copy paste. And you do that with a tiny little bacterium. So you know bacteria?
Yeah.
Well, you basically put your gene into a bacteria and then there's special bacteria that go into a plant or a tree and they deliver like a postman. They deliver that gene to the plant
so
or the
it's
tree.
Like they drop it in the mailbox.
They drop it in the mailbox. It's like a little microscopic postman. You give the glow gene to the tree, and now the tree's got instructions to glow. And when that little seed for the tree grows up, becomes a tree, that little glow gene will be in all the parts of the tree. So all the parts of the tree now think it has to glow. So you have a natural, gentle, magical nightlight in the park glowing.
That's pretty cool.
It is very cool. Thank you very much.
Still bonkers.
Well, so here's the idea. the science bit's out of the way. Now we get to the fun bit.
Yeah. The discussion.
Basically, it's dark at night.
Yeah.
And more often, street lights are switched off or they're not very bright.
Yeah.
And also LED streetlights, these modern streetlights are very cold. They're not warm.
Yeah.
If you create these glowing trees, like we have a park nearby here, you could walk outside and you would have the trees in the park would just gently glow. They would give this lovely warm light and everything would be peaceful and everything would be warm and safe. And it's very environmentally friendly. You don't need to have big metal poles. You don't need electricity. The city would save millions of pounds because it doesn't have to pay for the electricity to run all the streetlights. I mean, it's brilliant, right? It's completely brilliant. Can't wait to...
Okay, well, my first point is we all know that owls, squirrels, these type of animals, they live in trees. So if all of a sudden they're sitting in their home and it goes big and bright, I don't think many animals like to live in trees anymore because personally, if I was a squirrel and my tree went all bright, I would definitely want to move because, can't sleep with that. Second, when these big landmarks, they go very popular and they get lots of tourists around them, and, it's just not a very... Because if you live right next to this landmark, you constantly have tourists around you and all this, and you're saying that in a regular park, we'll just make trees glow, and that will attract a lot of TikTok stars, Instagram, YouTube, all these people, so, yeah.
So you've got two good points there. The first one is animals will get affected by all the light. And the second one is just it gets too popular. Actually, I think the animals one is quite an interesting one because, I mean, I was thinking like, well, that'd be useful if you're a squirrel and you're looking for your nut. Isn't it much easier when you got a light? It's not like a squirrel can go buy a torch or buy batteries, right? And so you see them running around at night during the day looking for their nuts, and they're running around because they only have daylight to find their nuts. But if the tree gave out light, the squirrel could find their nut at night, and they don't have to run around so much. So I think they should be a lot more relaxed.
A glowing acorn.
Glowing acorns. There you go. This will help. There you go. I love that idea. An acorn tree that gives light will grow acorns that give out light in the dark. So
They'll glow through the ground.
The squirrel will always be able to find his nuts.
Right, that's my idea, so it's brilliant, but the rest is bonkers.
Right, okay, the glowing acorns are brilliant,
yeah.
But the rest of it... joking aside, I think that will probably be a very serious issue with glowing trees. Like, I think animals would really get confused by
it. They would.
So I think that is probably the worst part of this. The Instagram and TikTok crowd. So basically influencers are going to show up and they're going to start taking loads of videos and the whole park is going to be full of Instagram.
Yeah, like it can go from a little park where, you can play to like a tourist attraction.
But you see, I think there's two sides to this. So first of all, we should cover the whole world in glowing trees. That would be option number one.
Okay.
Because then it's not special anymore. So we just have to start a movement where all the trees around the world will be light giving. But I appreciate that it's going to be difficult. So the other option would be to create a special park with light trees, because the other benefit of that would be all the TikTok influencers and all the Instagram influencers.
My next points are, this might seem a little bit silly, but what if they gossip about us? Like, personally, if a tree is glowing, it can see. Like, because we all know how trees live, They're like living things.
I was suggesting that they glow. I wasn't suggesting giving them eyes.
Well, yeah, but like, what if they... I don't know. Just, you know what I mean? Like, they can... But the next thing is, what if they glow like... What if they attract, like, weird animals? Like, personally, I don't want to walk over to a glowing tree and see, like, a glowing squirrel. Like...
I don't think there's... I don't know. I mean...
It could, like, move from the tree into the animal.
Yes, I see that kind of fear. Like, what if the genes that we put in the tree jump from the tree into animals or other plants or trees?
Yeah, and like in Doctor Who, in the Christmas Invasion when he's regenerating, he lets out all this magical stuff and the aliens can smell it. What if the tree attracts aliens?
Right. First of all, I don't want to give the trees eyes, and I don't want to make time-traveling trees.
I'm just saying.
I get your point. I think the core fear there is, will the gene jump from one organism to another? And all the research we have, because there are a lot of crops out there that are genetically modified. So a lot of the food that is produced now has been changed. So a gene has been added to make it more resistant against drought or something. The evidence we have says it doesn't jump. As far as I'm aware, it doesn't jump from one type of organism to another. But it would be cool to have light-emitting squirrels, you have to admit. That'd be awesome.
Okay. Well, I think we both have our last few points to make.
Last point. What's your last point?
My last point is, so you know how when you're in school or secondary school, people either they make bracelets, they make stickers, or they sell snacks. They try and make some business in their school. Personally, I think many people would steal these leaves and sell them. To be honest, and let's all admit, if we were walking around school or we were walking around a shop and someone was selling glowing leaves, I'd put my money down for that. And I know most people would. Even though it's kind of stupid, it's so cool.
So
yeah.
you basically admit in your last point that it is
Yeah.
brilliant because you and all your friends would steal it.
I wouldn't. I'm a good person.
Of course you would not. But I think there are two very persuasive arguments that you have put up against light trees. One, children would steal the leaves and try to make arts and craft with it, because apparently we can't trust the young generation.
I'm not saying the young generation, I'm just saying in general, people.
I think you're right. No, joking aside, I think people would definitely do that. So that's an issue. And the worst part about it, if I have to be very honest, the most persuasive argument for me is it would attract Instagram and TikTok influencers. And if there's one thing that I don't want to do, it's attract them. So I think it's brilliant. I think it's a brilliant idea. I think we should have trees that give light. I can just imagine walking through the parks and the streets at night. It'd be brilliant. It would be absolutely brilliant. But if it's going to attract influencers, then we shouldn't do it.
I can just say one thing. I might think it's brilliant only because just imagine you're by the sea, there's glowing trees, you're having a picnic, it's dark. That sounds perfection.
There you go. I've convinced you.
So, well
but
done.
It's not up to me, and it's not up to you.
It's up to the judgmental giraffe.
The judgmental giraffe. Amanda, you have the giraffe.
Yes, I do.
Which way is the giraffe going to lean? Is it going to be brilliant or bonkers? Giraffe?
I think he's taken in the influencer and the animals and all this stuff in. I think it's kind of like the cheese printer, in the sense that I think he thinks it's brilliant, but he also thinks it's bonkers, so he's kind of in the middle, but I think he's leaning towards brilliante.
It's brilliant. The giraffe thinks light trees are brilliant.
So do I.
Completely agree with him. They are brilliant. Let's face it. Amanda?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for listening. You let us know what you think about light trees. Somebody out there, clever scientist with a gene editing kit at home.
Yeah.
Go make it happen. Bring us a glow-emitting acorn so that the squirrels can find their nuts in the dark.
And when you do, we'll plant it in our garden for you.
There you go. Very good.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.